Carter asks Brooke to be his CEO, and Will reels as an Electra tells her bad news while sobbing. Ivy cautions Katie, Will visits Remy, and Ridge and Steffy are certain that Carter will fail on the bold and the beautiful today. Carter and Hope are joined in their discussion about the problem by Steffy, Ridge, and Eric at the Cliff home. Until they get it back, they promise not to set foot there. His plans to manage a fashion firm have Eric scratching his head. Ridge mockingly asks, is that what he called it? It's not a fashion house, it's a global luxury brand. A travesty, Eric says. Steffy claims Hope's influence destroyed Carter and now it may ruin the business. Rehashed is the plot of Carter and Hope's coup. It won't be around for long, according to Ridge. He can't operate the company without them. They discuss Hope and Carter being alone. Ridge says Carter sees it as a company, but it's essentially a community of artists. If you want to manage a fashion firm, you need inspiration and a leader with a vision and enthusiasm. Carter can't operate the company on his own. In the main office at Forrester, Carter tells Hope her mother would be amazing as the CEO of the company. He believes it's wonderful since she's run the company before. Hope wonders, if she accepts, what does that mean for her relationship with Ridge? Carter can understand her fears given Ridge hasn't reacted well to any of this, but he has to do what's best for the company. Hope agrees that her mom is the ideal person for the position. She wants this, but it's a certainty that it will cause problems. In the design office, Brooke can see that Electra is shocked. I'm sorry. They have to let her go. Electra doesn't understand why she's being let go. Ivy tries to intercede. Brooke thinks Forrester is in a sensitive phase of change. Katie claims she's not a good fit. Electra asks, is it because I'm a Forrester? They say no, as does Ivy, who points out she's also a Forrester. Electra asks, well, what is it then? Electra says she's sorry she was weird about having her photo posted to promote the line. I'm a bit of a private person. Katie arches an eyebrow. Electra tells them how much she loves Forrester. Why are you asking me to leave? Ivy wants to know as well. Brooke says the decision has been made. She needs to grab her stuff, turn in her badge, and leave today. At Il Giardino, Remy glances at his workmanship on his phone and flashes to Electra. He muses, your world is about to unravel, and I'll be there to pick up the pieces again. Will strolls in and Remy asks if he's come to pick up pizza. Will smirks, no, I'm here to see you, Remy. Let's talk about Electra. Remy says he knows her better than anyone. Will wants to explain something. Electra is delighted. She's thrilled working at Forrester. So be the guy she thinks you are and don't mess this up. Remy acts outraged at the suggestion that he'd mess things up for Electra. Will says she's talented and can have a long career at Forrester. I don't want anything to change that. It's her future. If you do anything to mess that up, you're going to answer to me. Brooke joins Carter and Hope in the main office wanting to talk to them. Carter says it's good timing. He has a proposition for her. In the design office, Ivy asks Katie to be honest with her. Did Carter tell her to fire Electra? Katie has the ability to manage these things on her own. Ivy insists that her niece loves Forrester. Katie continues on about it being the wrong moment to have her at the company. Ivy recognizes there's a reason she won't give her the truth right now, but warns that Electra and Will have gotten incredibly close. Good luck explaining this to her son. In the salon, Electra arrives and Will urges her not to be upset, but he went to visit Remy. As he goes on about how inappropriate it was for him to show up there and says he needs to appreciate that she's trying to build a name for herself in the fashion world, Electra breaks down crying. Will asks, what is wrong, Electra? She sobs, I was let go from Forrester. Will, I was fired. At the Cliff home, Eric has gone, and Steffy tells Ridge she hates this for Grandad. They wish they'd looked closer at the papers and mourn trusting Carter. Ridge thinks it's only a matter of time before things start to fall apart over there. In the main office, Brooke informs Carter and Hope that with everything going on, she and Katie felt they'd handle Electra's departure as fast and quietly as possible. Hope gawps, you fired her. We merely told her the jewelry line is safe. Brooke says they still have Ivy. Carter thanks Brooke for managing it. Hope still can't understand. Electra was liked there. Carter is grateful for Brooke's decision-making. It's the mark of a seasoned executive. He reveals he's going to need a new CEO. Brooke asks if he has someone in mind. Carter grins, as a matter of fact, I do. In the design office, Katie tells Ivy she knows Will cares for her, but worries how well they actually know her. In the salon, Will is thunderstruck over Electra's news. He assumed the jewelry line was safe. Electra says it's not the line, it's her. They let her go and wouldn't tell her why. She enjoys working on the collection and this seems like home. Will says that is home. Electra confesses that she's felt happier and more safe there than she has in years. Now it's just gone and they won't even tell me why. How could this happen? In Remy's room, he sits down in front of his laptop and the screen is full of photographs of Electra. He says he's sorry, but she'll thank him. At the Cliff home, Steffy tells Ridge that Carter can hire the appropriate people. Ridge doesn't think anyone will cooperate with someone who stole their company from them. Hope's an idiot who drove her own line into the ground. She can't help. Carter wants to prove them that he can accomplish this, but he can't, not on his own. He won't find anyone to help him move the company forward. In the main office, Carter declares that to be successful, they need the right people at the top. He can't run the day-to-day. The individual he has in mind is more than qualified. Hope hedges that it does come with complications. Carter needs a proven name at Forrester. Brooke doesn't agree with the takeover, but she wants to see the company succeed. Who are you thinking of? Someone from outside the company. Carter thinks it's important that the leadership comes from within. He reminds her she's run Forrester before. I think you can again. It's you. It's you, Brooke. You are the CEO I want. Her leadership will send a message that something new and exciting is happening there. Hope agrees she's the perfect person. Carter implores her to say yes to become their CEO. Next on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy, Ridge, Eric and Taylor are astonished as they watch a live social media broadcast, where Carter unleashes a bombshell declaration that none of them anticipated coming. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Ridge's quickie Taylor marriage, fast wedding adds to Brooke's pain?
The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest that there's been a lot of chatter in recent months about Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan's canceled wedding preparations. Although Brooke and Ridge had seemed thrilled to tie the marriage, B&B finally had them bail on the notion. It became more of a been there, done that kind of thing. Although Ridge may alter his mind once he's formally partnered back up with Taylor Hayes. Perhaps that's when Ridge will decide he actually wants to remarry. But he may want Taylor to be his bride instead. After all, we can't forget that Ridge almost married Taylor again until the CPS call scandal blew up in 2022. Ridge was all prepared to marry Taylor, but then he learned out Brooke didn't really call CPS on Thomas Forrester. It was Thomas himself who produced all the mayhem using a voice changer software. Ridge couldn't go through with expressing his vows based on Brooke's innocence, and the fact that Taylor wasn't the one who came clean. Taylor knew the truth in the end, but it was Steffy Forrester disclosed to Ridge on his wedding day. Looking back on all that now, Ridge could realize he should have followed his heart and remarried Taylor. It's easy to envision Ridge popping the question to Taylor and saying they should get their wedding plans back on track. This whole CEO issue with Brooke will really be Ridge's breaking point. It'll seal the deal on Ridge focusing all his attention on Taylor. So their romantic reunion could lead to them making things official. Ridge might push Taylor into a quickie marriage and thrill Steffy in the process. If Ridge decides there's no need to wait on living happily ever after, he may make Taylor his wife once more and add to Brooke's anguish. In other words, Ridge wasn't willing to marry Brooke, but he might be willing to fast-track a wedding to Taylor. If that's the case, it'll definitely pour salt in the wound for Brooke. Based on our B&B predictions, Ridge will go all in on a Taylor reunion. So we'll bring you updates on whether any wedding bells might be on the horizon. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest Taylor and Ridge could take some huge moves forward together. So stay tuned for more info on their future. B&B early week spoilers December 23rd to 27th. Will's investigation, Hope and Carter punished, Brooke's betrayal. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of December 23rd, 2024 are here. Next week, fans may anticipate Will Spencer to investigate Electra Forrester's termination. Ridge Forrester reels at Brooke Logan's treachery. Meanwhile, Hope Logan and Carter Walton start to confront the consequences of their choices. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Brooke Logan's betrayal. B&B spoilers for the week of December 23rd state that Brooke accepted Carter's proposal. Brooke wants the best for Forrester Creations, but made it obvious she does not agree with Carter and Hope's strategy. Despite all that, Brooke will accept Carter's offer that she serve as CEO of Forrester Creations again. After witnessing the social media broadcast of Brooke's new position being announced, the Forrester family will reel. Steffy, Forrester Finnegan, and Taylor Hayes won't be startled by Brooke's betrayal. However, Ridge and Eric might be stunned by the change of events. B&B spoilers, Taylor Hayes' romance next week. After Brooke's betrayal, Ridge will run into Taylor's arms. Taylor will be quick to console Ridge and remind him that he is exactly where he belongs. Even though Taylor continues stating she doesn't need a man, she definitely is quick about digging her claws in Ridge again. In fact, when Ridge leans in for a kiss, don't be surprised if Brooke gets a front row seat. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Will Spencer's investigation. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the week of December 23rd show that Electra will likely seek some solace from Remy Price after being dismissed. Remy is the one who shared those falsified images, but Electra thinks he is her friend. Meanwhile, Will might interrogate Katie Logan about why Electra was fired. At first, Katie might not want to inform Will. However, I can picture Will having a bit of Bill Spencer's temper. So Katie will eventually tell him about the photos. At first, Will might be in shock and possibly strike out at Electra. However, after some thinking, Will might understand that Electra is the victim here and he could come up with proof that it's Remy. B&B spoilers, week of December 23rd, 2024 next week. Expect Hope and Carter to begin witnessing the consequences of their choices. For one thing, the Forrester refused to work under Carter's leadership. Therefore, all those posts need to be replaced. Then there is a possibility of losing a lot of the designers, which will leave Carter with merely Hope for the future. Carter, Hope, and Brooke will also be prohibited from the Forrester Christmas party. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most next week? Brooke steals CEO position. Live stream causes outrage. The bold and the beautiful spoilers claim that Carter Walton will await Brooke Logan's answer now that he's delivered his CEO proposal. Carter wants Brooke to be the one to lead Forrester Creations into its next chapter. But Hope Logan recognizes it's complicated because of Ridge Forrester. Even so, Hope will assist Carter convince Brooke that the Forrester throne is where she needs to be. Brooke will go along with Carter's suggestion, but she might rationalize it by arguing it's what's best for Forrester Creations during this period of upheaval. Although Brooke doesn't agree with Carter's takeover methods, she doesn't want to see Forrester fail during all the changes. Brooke may tell herself that until the Forresters can reverse Carter's mistakes, the company needs a strong Logan like her at the head. Carter will be overjoyed at Brooke's decision and will want to start the ball rolling on a formal announcement straight now. Once Carter sets up an ASAP live feed, he'll blow up social media by handing the floor to his new CEO candidate. Brooke will deliver the news of her return to the CEO post at Forrester Creations. So Ridge, Steffy Forrester, Eric Forrester, and Taylor Hayes all get a shock. Ridge will be watching the live feed at the Forrester mansion with the others, so it won't be long until Taylor consoles him. This will be a low blow from Brooke as far as Ridge is concerned. So he'll start to think Taylor and all the other skeptics have always been right about her. Of course, Steffy may finally feel this as typical Logan behavior, and more proof that Hope is just copying her manipulative mother's conduct. Even Eric may have some harsh things to say about Brooke following this CEO shakeup. Based on our B&B predictions, Brooke's going to spark a horrible chain reaction and unleash some unanticipated effects. It appears like Brooke is sealing the deal on her own breakup from Ridge, so she'll be driving him straight into Taylor's arms soon enough. The bold and the beautiful spoilers predict there's plenty more Forrester Logan drama to come, so stay tuned for more on all the feuding. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Ridge accuses Brooke of betrayal for taking CEO job. The bold and the beautiful spoilers claim that Brooke Logan is ready to acquire a job at Forrester Creations. although they'd put on a show for INS. Once Ivy's dual citizenship was established, she grudgingly notified Liam, and they canceled their short-lived marriage. She then moved on by getting close to Wyatt, although Steffy claimed Allie had fallen and struck her head on a rock, causing her death. Ivy possessed video footage of her striking Allie with a tire iron. She wanted justice for her friend, but Wyatt insisted on protecting Steffy. She exploited the film to blackmail her way into being the new face of Forrester, but that ultimately backfired as Steffy sacked her from the company. Ivy and Wyatt's love was jeopardized when Thomas Forrester saved Ivy from a falling spotlight and grew fascinated with her. After Ivy eventually caved up and made out with Thomas, Steffy notified Wyatt, who was crushed. During a fight with Steffy backstage at Forrester, Ivy was shoved into an electrical panel and nearly electrocuted. Ivy had a restraining order set up against Steffy and reconciled with Wyatt, albeit she began developing emotions for Liam again. When Wyatt proposed, Quinn revealed Ivy was still in love with Liam, so he called it off. As Ivy was packing to depart to Australia, she had another dispute with Steffy, and in the struggle slipped down the stairs. Thankfully, Ivy healed and flew home to Australia, leaving the Forresters and their drama behind. In May 2024, Ivy popped back to Los Angeles and drank drinks with Liam. She acknowledged that Eric had talked to her about resurrecting the Forrester jewelry line, but she seemed much more interested in flirting with Liam and trying to rekindle a spark. He was really flattered, and they shared a kiss, but then Steffy interrupted and inserted herself as a third wheel, so Ivy said her goodbyes. Ivy returned in October, having been contacted by Carter Walton about relaunching the Forrester jewelry line. She brought her niece, Electra Forrester, along to assist her and tried pitching Steffy on restarting the business, but the CEO felt like she was being ambushed. Later, Eric was happy to meet Ivy and Electra and suggested they pitch their jewelry line to Ridge. Ivy believed Steffy's decision was personal, not commercial, and Ridge loved their designs and authorized it, assuring he'd deal with Steffy himself. Eric also offered the ladies to move into the Forrester estate with the rest of the family. As Forrester prepared the press statement for the new jewelry line, Ivy couldn't understand why Electra didn't want her name or photo included, as she was an integral part of it. Eventually, Electra revealed in Ivy that the reason she'd gone to LA was because someone had manufactured deepfake nude images of her and published them all over the internet. She worried it would happen again, and Ivy promised to safeguard her niece. Stay tuned to see what happens next. Bold and beautiful holiday blues. What Brooke's big betrayal means for the annual Forrester family Christmas. Big things have been happening on Bold and Beautiful, and a big betrayal is set to make the situation a whole lot more dire. It's all giving fans the gift of drama, but has left them wondering what will become of the usual Forrester family Christmas party we all look forward to so much. There's only a week left before the main holiday, and Bold and Beautiful's Forresters and Logans have never been so separated. The Forresters are suffering after Carter executed a coup on behalf of the Logans, with Hope by his side, and took over the treasured family business. Making matters immensely worse, a raging Ridge blamed his lady love's daughter for the whole mess, and took it to another level by calling Hope his mother's favorite disparaging nickname for Brooke, a slut. Brooke grew aggressive with Ridge, but he merely doubled down, informing Brooke that he would not, live on the same property with her manipulative turncoat of a daughter. Hollering about Hope acting out of pocket with Thomas, Finn, and now Carter. The dressmaker made it obvious he wanted Brooke to turf Hope out of her cabin home. Aghast, Brooke refused, and Ridge stormed out on her. It came as a surprise to almost no one that Ridge wound up at the Cliff home, and finally, in Taylor's soothing arms. As we now know, things are set to get much, much worse. Ridge is about to get rocked again, and we don't mean in Brooke's bedroom. The revelation that Brooke will not only join Team Carter and Hope, but will be leading the initiative as Forrester Creations' new CEO, will translate to a blue Christmas for Ridge. He'll consider her acceptance of Carter's offer as the ultimate betrayal, even if she's hoping to negotiate peace. And with the big revelation coming less than a week before the usual Christmas gathering, it's not looking good for the festivities at all. We're sorry to say, we can't imagine the Forresters and Logans setting aside their differences this year, folks. It's simply inconceivable, especially with Bridget coming home for the holidays. We're calling it now. The Logans are going to have to burn the holiday turkey at Brooke's house this year, and the Forresters will be singing the blues over Eric's piano. On the other hand, this is bold and beautiful, and quite literally anything is conceivable. Bridget's homecoming may imply Brooke makes an appearance at the Forrester family celebration, if only to get a first-hand glimpse at Ridge telling Taylor, "All I want for Christmas is you." Heads start to roll at Forrester Creations. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, casualties of a coup the Logan ladies, are now ruling the show at Forrester Creations after Hope Logan and Carter Walton managed to pull off quite a coup. Carter can put anybody he wants in charge, and he wants Hope and her family up top. The first item of business for Brooke Logan and Katie Logan is to purge the corporation of everything Forrester except the name, which means poor Electra Forrester needs to depart. The young woman is astonished to find that she is getting dismissed for no real cause. She has just been performing her job as she was meant to and doesn't comprehend how this can happen. Perhaps she needs Will Spencer to step in and speak some sense into his mother. When Katie sees how much Will likes this girl, she could have a change of heart. She will also want to keep her son at her side as an FC intern and would worry he will run and obtain a job with Dollar Bill Spencer at Spencer Publications. Katie just well be Electra's saving grace. B&B spoilers. The Forresters plot their next move. Meanwhile, the Forresters aren't about to take things lying down. Hope and Carter were so sure that Zen Forrester would be on their side and want to design for Hope for the future. But he was horrified at what they had done. To that purpose, he joins forces with the rest of his family to strategize. There has to be a means of gaining the corporation back from Carter and Hope. Ridge Forrester cannot allow Eric Forrester's heritage go like this, and Steffy Forrester Finnegan can't let Hope win. Justin Barber has indicated there is nothing they can do, but the Forresters are not about to quit up. Perhaps it's time for a new fashion competition to establish who should actually be in charge.
In the design office, Brooke emphasized that they were grateful for the job that Electra done, but they had to let her go. Electra wondered if she had done something wrong. Ivy stated if someone had complained about Electra's work, they should have let her know. In other circumstances, this might not be necessary, Brooke warned them. Brooke stated that Forrester was in a delicate period of transition and she just wasn't a good fit for the company. Electra and Ivy wanted to know why. Brooke and Katie remarked that Electra was more than an assistant, she had been publicized as part of the brand. Brooke told Electra they could do this quietly, she could grab her stuff, turn in her badge, and depart today. Electra was crushed. After Brooke and Electra left, Ivy demanded an explanation from Katie but received the runaround. Katie stated she hadn't been directed by anyone to terminate her, but because of the change of leadership, Electra was no longer a good fit. Katie noted that the corporation was soon to be under a significant amount of scrutiny. Katie remarked that Electra was young and will have other possibilities, but right now it was the wrong moment to have her at the company. Ivy angrily reminded Katie that there might be a reason why she couldn't be open about her reasons for terminating Electra, but wished her good luck explaining to Will. Katie told Ivy that she liked Electra, but she worried how well they actually knew her. At Il Giardino, Remy was still distracted by thoughts of Electra while he was supposed to be working. "Your world is about to unravel, and I'll be there to pick up the pieces again," he murmured to himself ominously. Remy looked up and saw Will approaching towards him. "Hey Will, are you here to pick up an order?" "I know how you feel about deliveries," Remy scoffed. "No, I came here to see you, Remy. Let's talk about Electra," Will told him. Will stated he understood that Remy and Electra were good friends who went way back, but Electra was thrilled. "Be the guy she thinks you are, and don't mess this up," Will instructed him. Remy noted that Electra was a Forrester, so she wasn't attempting to get her foot in the door, her name was on the building. Will added that Electra was talented and could have a long and successful career at Forrester, but he didn't want anything to ruin that. Will said he understood that Remy wanted Electra to share her life with him, but this was her future. And if you do anything to mess that up, you're going to answer to me, Will continued. Will walked back to the salon and told Electra that he'd just come back from chatting to Remy. Electra broke down crying as he repeated their exchange. Will realized she was crying. She told him that she was fired as she cried. WLLL questioned why Electra was dismissed, but she didn't know. She cried that she loved Forrester and working on Ivy's collection. It feels like home, she wailed. She stated she had felt so pleased and more secure than she had in years. She felt everything was falling into place, and they wouldn't even tell her why. How could this happen? Electra cried. Remy went home and looked at images of Electra on his computer. I'm sorry, Electra. But you'll thank me, he mused.